Hey there, storytellers. Let me take you on a journey to a time when the world was young and magic danced in the air. Today, we're diving into a spellbinding folktale from Africa, a story of wisdom, cunning, and the never-ending battle between good and greed. This is the tale of the tortoise and the magic drum.
It all began in a small village surrounded by a lush, green forest. In this village lived Tortoise, a creature known far and wide for his slyness and his silver tongue. He wasn't the strongest or the fastest, but oh, his wit could move mountains. Or so he liked to think. One day, Tortoise heard whispers about a powerful king in a neighboring land. This king possessed a magical drum. But it wasn't just any drum, this drum could summon an endless feast. With just a tap, out came bowls of steaming rice, roasted yams, fragrant soups, and fruit sweeter than honey. This was no ordinary drum, it was a treasure of unimaginable value. Now, Tortoise's stomach rumbled as he listened to the story. You see, food in his village was scarce, and Tortoise wasn't exactly fond of hard work. He decided then and there, he had to have that drum.
Fast forward a few days, and Tortoise set off on his journey. He trekked through the dense forest, his eyes gleaming with determination. After days of travel, he finally reached the king's palace. And oh, what a palace it was! The gates shimmered with gold, and the air smelled of spices and roasted meat. Tortoise approached the king, bowing low. "Great king," he said, his voice dripping with humility, "I have traveled far and wide to see your wondrous drum. It is said to be a marvel of the world." The king, amused by the small creature before him, agreed to show Tortoise the drum. But Tortoise didn't stop there. He showered the king with compliments, flattery so sweet it could have melted stone. And finally, he asked, "O mighty one, might I play your drum, just once, to hear its magical music?" The king hesitated but relented. "But only one tap," he warned. "Anything more, and the drum's magic will overwhelm you." Tortoise nodded solemnly, but inside, he was grinning like a fox in a henhouse. He tapped the drum lightly, and lo and behold, a feast appeared. Tortoise made a show of thanking the king, but his mind was already racing. He needed a plan to take the drum home.
And so, the cunning Tortoise hatched his scheme. The next morning, he returned to the palace, limping and groaning. "What is the matter with you?" the king asked, his brow furrowed. "Oh, great king," Tortoise wailed, "as I journeyed back to my village, I was attacked by robbers. They took everything I had, even my clothes. All I have left is my life and the memory of your kindness." The king was moved. He decided to give Tortoise the drum, believing that such generosity would bring him blessings. And just like that, Tortoise returned to his village, the magical drum in hand.
But here's where the story takes a turn. For weeks, Tortoise lived like a king. He tapped the drum for every meal, inviting the villagers to feast with him. But as his belly grew rounder, so did his greed. He stopped sharing the drum's bounty, hoarding it all for himself. The villagers, once grateful, began to grumble. Tortoise, oblivious to their growing resentment, continued his gluttony. One day, in his greed, he tapped the drum again and again, demanding more food than he could ever eat. But this time, something strange happened. The drum didn't summon a feast. Instead, it unleashed a torrent of water. It poured and poured until Tortoise's home was flooded. The water carried him out of his house and down to the river, where he barely managed to save himself. Humiliated and drenched, Tortoise returned to the village, the drum now broken and useless. The villagers laughed and jeered, reminding him of the old saying, "Greed takes away what generosity gives." And so, Tortoise learned a lesson, or at least, that's what he claimed. But knowing Tortoise, it's hard to say if he truly changed his ways. So, what's the moral of the story? It's simple: greed may bring you riches, but it will never bring you peace. And just like Tortoise, those who hoard what should be shared will find themselves alone when the waters rise. If you enjoyed this tale, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more stories from around the world. And hey, let me know in the comments, What's a folktale from your culture that teaches a powerful lesson? I'd love to hear it. Until next time, keep your heart light, your spirit generous, and your curiosity alive. See you in the next story.